I'd like to thank you for
Of
hosting us
course.
and be here with us. It's a huge pleasure to be here with you, exchanging information. And I'm a huge fan of your work. You are such an
Oh, you're so
inspiration.
sweet.
Okay.
There she is.
But yeah, I heard Leticia saying that we're very happy to have you here with us, and we're so grateful for this opportunity. We're very happy to have you here with us, and we're so grateful for this opportunity. Yeah, so I don't know if you have already introduced yourself.
Okay, so I'm Karen, and I've been an English teacher for 22 years.
Wow.
It's been a while. I've been doing this, I've taught all kinds of students from, very little kids like babies up to senior citizens and different purposes as well, like general English, exam preparation, and business English, specific needs. So I've been around the block once or twice.
Yeah. And how did you get into, I mean, you recently had this course on business English. I was there. I loved it, by the way.
Thank you.
But it seems like you have a great deal of experience in business English. And how or why did you get into that area specifically?
Okay. So yeah, it was really like by accident, I would say. One day, someone needed a teacher to teach business English, and they sent me to a company, basically. And then that was it. I had to to teach business English. It was not something that I planned, and I was very, very young at the time, so it was difficult to start. I looked very young, and I was young, so that it was not something like I was not prepared. Nobody trained me for this. They just gave me the books and said, "Go."
Yeah, I imagine how challenging it was, especially some years ago, where companies used to be more traditional and young people would have less credibility.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And well, I think I was maybe 20 when I started
Oh,
teaching
wow.
business English, specifically business English, and I looked like I was 12.
Oh my
So,
God. I can imagine. I could tell that you're 30 something right now and just because of your level of maturity, but we have a lot of people coming in. Welcome everybody. We're talking to Karin. She's an amazing teacher and teacher trainer. And then, yeah, you had this experience teaching business, and well, you might have done a good job because you're still doing it. So how did you start teaching more and more
yeah, actually,
business
I got
students?
when I started teaching, I don't think that was really business English when I think now what I
Hmm.
was doing. But the more I started teaching, the more I started talking to the professionals, that I was teaching at the time, the more interested I got because I really wanted to learn about business more than English. You know, I really wanted to learn from them, and it was really like a learning opportunity for me as well. So, um, I started teaching in a huge factory here in São
Hmm.
Paulo, and I had the opportunity to work in all departments. So that was great for me. I learned a lot, and I would say that that was my very first real business experience, business English experience, because I not only had the opportunity to teach, but I was also part of the negotiations at the time. And
Mm.
so I had other, roles in the company. I had my company, but I was a consultant for them. So I would say that this was my very first real deal business. deal, you
Yeah,
know.
that's what I was wondering, that all this experience helped you as a businesswoman as well.
Yes, certainly. Certainly. I learn every day from my students. And I guess this is like fundamental if you want to work with business English, you need to be open to learning from your student because they are the experts in their field, you know?
Yeah,
Not you. You are the language expert, but at the end of the day, they need the language to do their jobs.
yeah.
And so I learn every day from them.
That's wonderful. Yeah, there is one post that we got from your Instagram when you said business English teaching is much more than teaching words related to the workplace. Could you just elaborate that a little bit more? Because, well, I took the course, I know what that means, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people think of business English expressions and how to make presentations in English, but it's not only that, right?
No, it is not. It is certainly not. So when I say this, what I want to say is that we need to go beyond the vocabulary and the grammar because our students are there to deliver results. And English is just a tool for them, just like their computer, for example, or a piece of paper or their phones, you know?
Yeah.
So I really don't like those lessons where we just focus on language. It doesn't work for business English at all.
Yeah.
We need to understand what they have to achieve. And many times, for instance, I work a lot with human resources, and in different companies, um, they have different needs, you know? So we need to bear in mind what they need and actually add. It's not only me teaching vocabulary related to human resources. It doesn't make sense. They need to be able to use that effectively at work.
Yeah. So English would be the tool, and they need instructions on how to use this tool
That's why
to
that's
accomplish
why
their
as a
goals.
business English teacher you should, you know, take courses on business or, you know, develop yourself as a business person. You might not enjoy you might not have like your own business, but you need to enjoy talking about business.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, because
Or
if
at least willing to
it,
learn about it.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. If you enjoy, it helps because the same goes like if you're teaching kids, for example, and you don't like singing songs,
Yeah.
you know, it comes with the package.
Yeah, exactly. So nowadays you don't teach kids anymore.
Well, the only kid I teach is my own,
Yeah.
and that's hard work.
You already have a kind of full-time job there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's another question that Leticia actually asked. I don't know if can you talk right now, Leticia?
Leticia, are you there? I can see her, but I don't think she's moving anywhere. I don't know if her.
Can I ask for you then? I'm going to, well, she wrote this question. How, how do you manage motherhood and your work as an entrepreneur teacher?
I don't. But when I say this, it's just because I think I organize my schedule well. I'm not going to say it's easy to be 100% of the time, you know, the mom I want to be, or the entrepreneur I want to be, or the teacher I want to be, or you know, the spouse I want to be. It's not easy. But I'm the kind of person that works a lot, and I need work for me to be motivated. It's something that motivates me a lot. I'm
Hmm.
not the kind of person that would just, you know, drop everything for motherhood. It's just not part of me. Nothing against those people that do this,
Yeah.
but it's just not me. I like working. I love my job. I love what I do, and I need work is a huge part of my life.
Hmm.
And Um, I just try to organize my schedule so I have like some time with my son, with my husband, with my family, because this is so important to me. So nowadays, my schedule is more organized because now I only teach certain hours and I only work certain hours. And then I can be with them, for example, in the evenings and on the weekends. But I'm not gonna tell you that this was like this since the beginning, because it wasn't, especially when he was little, you know. So when you have a baby, you need to dedicate more time for the child, obviously. Now
Yeah.
he's 9, so it's easier. I don't have to do things for him as much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a journey, right? First of all, you're learning how to be a mom, and you're learning with the child through different phases of their lives, and you're learning how to cope with the rest of your life and your jobs and everything else. And no wonder that nowadays you have more experience and your son is more self-sufficient. It's gonna be a little bit easier to organize everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And something that I talk to Leticia a lot, both of us, we don't have kids. She has pet kids. She has pets, and I'm married, but we also try to. We always have our personal life out of work, and we constantly talk about prioritizing our time. And that's something that is also useful when you talk about business English and students who need to show up. They need to open a space in their busy schedule. So, talking about prioritizing, do you have any tips or anything that you would like to share with either teachers or students or who else needs to listen to?
Yeah, I would say that first you should, if you have a crazy schedule with lots and lots of classes, you should first make sure you schedule your breaks, because it's pretty easy for us to just go down that rabbit hole where we take all the classes we can teach, because the more classes you teach, the more money you make. And you know, I used to teach back in the day from 7 in the morning until 9 p.m. and then prepare lessons afterwards and go to bed at 2 and then start all over again at 7. This is not healthy, okay?
Yeah.
I ended up in the hospital. Don't do this. It happened to me. So prioritizing is so important. We just need to bear in mind that, first of all, what is the most important thing to us? In my case, is my family. So I know I need to be with them. So, for instance, now we can have lunch together, which is great for me. I love it that we can all sit down and have lunch together. There's only one day of the week that we don't have lunch together, and every now and then when it happens again, like my son says, "Oh, Mom, we can't have lunch together." So it's like a family time, you know? And then we have
Yeah.
dinner together. So these things are important to me. And those are the things I just not gonna say I'll take something because I'll need them. I'm not saying you shouldn't if you need the money, but just be organized with your schedule. There
Hmm.
are things like every now and then, if you need to schedule a client or something, fine, but it cannot become a habit. And then
Yeah.
you get overtired, and then you get overstressed, and you're sick, and you have
And your quality
headaches, you
time
don't
with your
know,
family drops as well, right?
and then you're angry and frustrated, you know. As I said, I'm not going to say everything is perfect, because it's ridiculous for me in 2021 to say, oh, my life is perfect. No one's life is perfect. But if you have your priorities very clear to your mind, you know, it's easier for you to make decisions. In my case, it's really easy. If someone calls from my son's school, I will drop everything and leave,
Yeah.
no matter who I'm talking to. So
That's
these are
that's
the
is-
things, you
that's
know.
actually inspiring. No, it's inspiring because more and more we feel like it's so easy to fill up your schedule with a lot of things, and sometimes you don't even know why you're doing that. So
I have a feeling that people are doing this because they don't want to miss out on opportunities.
yeah,
Everybody says that we need to, you know, um, say yes to any opportunity that comes. with time and experience, you learn how to say no. And it's not saying no to everything, it's just saying no, thank you, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Right now I'm busy, you know. You don't have to justify yourself and keep saying why you're not scheduling things. No, your schedule is no one's business. You know,
Yeah.
if you want to just sleep one day and rest, it's your life, you know. So as long as you're comfortable with your decisions and your family, I'd say go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we hear a lot of teachers at Women Collab complaining about this, like juggling life and professional life and family, kids. And it's really inspiring to, it's never going to be perfect no matter what. But if you have, yeah, this is so helpful to learn what's important to you at the moment. And at the moment, it doesn't mean that's going to be important all the time in all situations.
Exactly. Exactly. If you if you know your values, you know what kind of person you want to be or what kind of person you are, you know, it's going to be easier for you to make these decisions. And it's okay, seriously, it's okay for you to say no. Like you're not a bad person if you say, I'm sorry, but I can't.
Yeah. And people need to learn, well, we need to learn how to say no. People need to learn how to hear no's as well. And so everybody finds a middle ground and negotiate a better day, a better time. It doesn't need to be everything for yesterday. And that's the bad culture in some companies as well, right? We had discussed that a couple of times. So
Yeah.
this kind of
So
boundaries.
the more you learn about yourself, it's easier also when you work with your students, obviously.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, and well, talking about female edupreneurs, would you have like 3 top tips for them? Because we have so many teachers right now using Instagram, using LinkedIn, or trying to build their website or building their student community. So, based on your experience, what are the tips that you would like to share?
Well, first of all, ask yourself if you're really up for it. It's okay if you decide not to, because it's something that now I see every day. Oh, let's be an entrepreneur. It's so great. It's so wonderful, you know, quit your job and let's do this. Guys, it's not easy.
Yeah,
Make sure you know what you're going to face before you make this decision. And you're not a weak person if you say, no, this is not for me. As I said, the moment you know your priorities, your values, and everything, it's easier for you to make these decisions. Just last month, I had a mentee who was actually struggling to decide if she was going to leave her job and start her own business. So that was pretty much the whole thing that we discussed. And because now we have so much pressure from our peers, you know, the same goes with certificates and diplomas and this and that, you know. So it has to work for you. First of all, analyze, talk to people that have been doing this for a long time and ask them about their days. What time do they wake up? What time do they go to bed? Do they have weekends, holidays? Do they have free time? How is it for them? Are they happy with the amount of money they make? What about benefits? So talk to people first. Take your time interviewing. If you don't know anybody, you know, approach them on social media or ask someone to recommend you, but go and talk to these people that have been doing this every day.
yeah,
So if you're not willing to work, for instance, oh, you want to make a lot of money as a teacherpreneur, let's say, you need to work at least 60 hours a week,
fast
at
money,
least.
more work, right? So it's not
Okay.
nothing's for
But
free.
if you're not willing to work for 60 hours, if your reading time is important to you, you know, your relaxation moments, and you just want to work for 30 hours. So bear in mind that you're not going to get that amount of money, which is, again, it's okay, but you need to know
Yeah.
from the start. So talk to people. I say that this is like number one thing on your list. Talk to as many people as you know, the ones that are successful and the ones that are struggling. Because everything we see on social media sounds and looks so perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not perfect. Okay, so again, what do you want for your life? You know, this is number one. And then do the math. Do the math. Do the freaking math. Okay? Because if you want to make certain amount of money, it's not like that. And you need to know if your family depends on that money that you're making as an employee, you know. So do the math. Like sit down and crack the numbers and see
Yeah.
if it's worth it.
I
And
remember
again,
some,
you don't have to do this just because it's popular.
yeah, exactly. I remember somebody saying that the number of followers don't pay all of your bills, so you need to be aware of that.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. And I find this so interesting that now, like, and I don't blame them or shame them because I also use social media as a way of like communicating and getting business. Of course, we're here, right?
Yeah.
Talking to you. But um, it has to be in a way so organized in a way that you're not there because you want the applause. Because if you want the applause, go take an acting course, you know, because this is not for the applause. And when people ask me, why do I do this? I want people to say, oh, you're having problem? Go for Karin because she can fix your problem. That's what I want people to say about my job. I want my job to speak for itself.
Yeah.
And I use social media, as I said, as a, you know, a way to connecting with people, but it's a very small portion of what I do.
Yeah.
And if you're here for the followers, if you're here for the applause, go listen to Lady Gaga song because it's better.
Yeah. More fun, less work.
Exactly.
All right. And yeah, is there anybody else, anything else that would like to
I would
highlight in
say
terms of,
like
yeah,
these two things are fundamental to start.
yeah, yeah,
Talk to people and do the math.
yeah,
And then if you really decide to go for it, educate yourself. And I'm not talking about pedagogy. Like go and take courses on business so you know how to organize your finances, how to price your services, you know. It's something very simple. You don't have to pay. You just go for Sebrae, you know, they have great courses and you don't have to invest a lot of money.
yeah,
And there's so much content, like so much stuff on YouTube, for example, for free. So educate yourself.
yeah.
And then when you have everything set, you start doing things. I don't really like when they say, oh, first you get the client and then you decide how you're going to do the job. I agree
Not for
in
teaching.
parts.
No,
No, because
I
for
don't think that
teaching, it's
serves.
like, I agree in parts. Like
Yeah.
commercially speaking, I understand how it works, but honestly, no. You
If you
need
wanna do
to
it
know
right,
exactly. Mm-mm. Yeah.
yeah. All
It's
right.
bad reputation. I think I repeated that many times during the course, right? Don't
Yeah,
do it. Bad
yeah,
bad rep.
yeah,
Avoid it.
yeah. You can start small and just, well, like having small, like one student that is your neighbor, your friend or family
Exactly.
member.
That's it.
Start training, start as you said, educating yourself in terms of language awareness and also like teaching in as well, like opening a company and having everything organized. If you have the opportunity to be hired by a company, you need to have your company set up already. So it's not something that you do last minute. You can do it. It's going to be a chaos.
Yeah, and then you're not gonna get paid for several months
Exactly.
because they
Exactly.
only pay if you have the documents. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I've had that problem in the beginning of the year because I didn't have my digital certificate, and they were waiting for me to get that sorted out so I could have my nota fiscal. That's something that we have in Brazil,
hmm
right? And they don't pay you until they receive that, and it's just
hmm
part of the business that people don't tell you.
Exactly. And some companies actually they only pay you like in 90 days.
Yeah,
So you provide all the services and then it takes 90 days for them to pay you and then it goes for the next month and so
yeah,
on. So if you're not financially prepared for these things, it can be a challenge.
yeah. So Marina, thanks for coming from Jornada English. She's asking, are there any courses that you recommend on this area, like for
Like
entrepreneurs?
um any business courses that you can find and start with Sebrae, seriously.
Hmm.
Start with Sebrae and take all the workshops they have. They have wonderful materials for free. So start with that. If you want to, develop yourself more, just go into maybe a post-graduation course on business or even a degree if you want. Like I'm taking now a post-graduation course in business and I highly recommend.
Nice.
It's great.
Marina actually has two MBAs.
So you see,
So you're
so
good,
you're ready,
Marina.
girl.
Just keep working. I think, yeah, for we also have some teachers in our community who have been already um, running their businesses for a while. And now with the pandemic, things changed a little bit. Do you have any recommendations for those kind of teachers?
First, don't freak out.
That's the hardest.
Exactly. The thing is, we're always going to have crisis,
Yeah,
period,
yeah.
you know. So we need
Crisis
to be
management is
prepared.
a good course, right?
Yeah, that's it. We always need to be prepared for crisis, always.
Mhm.
Okay? Money comes and goes. And when I say comes and goes, it's like sometimes the money is with you and sometimes the money is elsewhere, but the
Yeah,
money doesn't disappear.
yeah,
It just changes hands, you know.
yeah,
But we need to be prepared. That's why I would say that nowadays the most important thing is for us to have different careers
hmm,
at the same time. So don't do only one thing, you know. So, for instance, I teach, but I also work as an examiner. I also work as a consultant, as a mentor. I work with hiring processes, like recruitment processes for international companies. What else? I do interviews with human resources and behavior analysis. So have other things up your sleeve, you know,
yeah,
because when things change, they will change because they always change. You have other things to do.
yeah. That's a really good piece of advice, especially now in this, we are looking to the future. Things are already changing, more online opportunities, but at the same time, companies' dynamics have been changing as well. Schools have been changing the way they manage teachers and everything
Yeah.
else. So yeah,
Yeah,
Leticia,
recently I read an article that said that we're going to have 3 to 5 careers in our lives,
yeah,
and in terms of jobs or roles or functions, like more than 50 for sure.
yeah, that's very interesting. It's nice to have this create this mindset. So we are open for opportunities. Can you send me the link of this article later? I will put in
Sure.
our bio so you guys can read there at WomenColab. And Leticia was asking about one of your roles as a mentor, teacher mentor. How does that work? Because I know that you are a coach as well. use a little bit of your coaching techniques, or how is the mentorship for teachers?
Yeah, the mentoring program is really focused on the teacher's needs, so it changes a lot from teacher to teacher. Sometimes, as I said, is just assisting this person in a thinking process, like
Yeah.
deciding, making decisions and stuff like that. Or it's actually setting up their business or working on, they already have their business and they need to re-strategize,
Yeah.
rebrand, you know, or sometimes they, if school owners, when they contact me, they want an outside opinion of what they're doing, maybe changing materials or changing methodologies. So it's really personal, you know, it depends from what you want. I always ask my mentees, so what's happening today
Yeah.
that is bothering you, you know? Because what I notice is that people have lots of dreams, but then they're always frustrated that they can't do what they would like to do.
Yeah.
So the mentoring program comes, and of course, I have a license as a life coach and an executive coach, which helps me a lot. And so I kind of help them through this process of like choosing things and choosing different paths, choosing making decisions. I don't make the decisions for them, obviously, because it's not my life, right? But I'm there showing them the options that they have. And I don't have all the answers, okay? This is important for me to say. I don't have all the answers, nor I want to have,
Yeah.
because it would be too arrogant of me to come and say, "Oh, I have all the answers." No, but if I don't have all the answers, I might know someone who does.
Okay. Oh,
So
that's
then
good.
we can work, yeah, we can work together. So uh, remember, I've been doing this for 22 years. I've talked
Yeah.
to some people.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, and one last, well, thank you for sharing that. In the very end, I will ask you to share your contact and resources so people can reach out if they need your services or your help. And I just want to ask you one last question. It can be personal, a personal question or something that you're reading. What are you currently reading? Is it something personal, something for your work, and would you recommend it?
Um, Actually, I have it right here so I don't forget the author's name. Like
Okay.
I said, I'm reading a book in Portuguese right now, which is called Mentes Ansiosas.
Mm,
So Anxious Minds, and it's by a Brazilian author called Ana Beatriz Barbosa Silva.
nice.
And basically, it's about how people are anxious and people that are more anxious than others for different reasons, you know. Sometimes could be something that happened to this person, like violence or, you know, some tragedy or whatever. But it could also be related to burnout, or it could be related to um, how they see life, you know, how they were raised and things like that. So it's pretty interesting, very practical approach, and I highly recommend reading this book.
Oh, that's awesome. I haven't heard about this one. I'll take notes on that. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. It was, I mean, you are always surpassing our expectations. You always have
Oh my
so
gosh.
much valuable information to share. It's always so nice. I mean, it's simple for you. As you said, you have 22 years under your belt. So there is so much that is simple for you, but for other teachers, it can be so challenging and overwhelming. And you made it simple, explaining many things. And Marina said that's really interesting, especially because from the idea of execution, in terms of execution, there's a long way to go, right? And how to find answers is the object. Yeah, I think people were talking about our topics before. But yeah, and as you you said before, you're not having this business English course running anytime soon, do you? Or you're planning to do it again?
The one with Vinicius.
Yeah.
You should ask Vinicius because many people sent me messages asking when are you having this course again? So you should
Oh,
ask Vinicius about this course. But I'm partners with Rob Howard, and Rob Howard has this thing called the BLTI, which is the Business Language Institute. So Business English Training Language Institute. So if you're interested, you can Google BLTI and you can find more information. And every now and then I give different workshops on maybe like behavior analysis or management or things like that. But this course is specifically the one that I taught at De Prof para Prof, then you should ask Vinicius.
okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. And you also run a language school, right?
Yes, yes. So I have my own language school. I've had this business for 14 years now. We're turning 14 now in October.
Oh,
So
that's
yes,
wonderful.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
So it's 100% online. We've been working online for a very long time, I think 10 years. And so when the whole pandemic situation happened, it was nothing new to us. We have clients in Chile, in Colombia, in the United States, in Canada, many students in Canada, Argentina, Holland, Japan, Portugal, um, Dominican Republic,
All
almost
over
10
the
countries,
world.
I think. Yeah.
Awesome. So you not only do you teach business English, but you also offer general English courses.
General English, exam preparation, specific needs, conversation courses, you name it. Even just we have a program which is called Writing Evaluation Services. So we
Mhm.
only work with writing and we give you feedback. That's it.
Awesome.
You send in the writing and we give you feedback.
That's pretty
If you're going
awesome.
to take a test, for example, like IELTS or TOEFL.
Yeah, it's important to have feedback. And well, that's something that I don't see many. If you don't take the whole course, the 4 skill course, you don't usually get this feedback. It's so hard to find. Either you have to hire a private teacher or you hire international services, which are really expensive. So that's good to know. I will, if
Yeah.
I have students in need, I already know who to recommend.
Great, thank you.
And also, that's iStudy, right?
Yes,
Your
I
school.
study interactive learning.
Yeah. And if people need your mentoring services and language consultancy,
Well, you can contact me here on
yeah,
Instagram
yeah,
or at iStudy. You can send us a message there as well.
sounds good. All right. Well, guys, thank you, guys, girls, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Thank you again, Karin, for being here with us and sharing all your experience. And
Of
I hope we
course,
can
my
meet again
pleasure.
soon.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh yeah, we were so happy when you said yes, and we know you have a super busy schedule, and you just could come here and talk about all these topics. I mean, we're so grateful. I'm so sorry that Leticia couldn't be here talking as well, but maybe we can meet again soon.
Sure.
So wishing you and everybody else a very good weekend, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who watched. And girls, if anytime you want to do this again, so Leticia, I can talk to you. It's
Yeah,
okay. We can schedule it. Okay. Thank you
yeah,
so
thank
much.
you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.